Would you move to a town that you're allergic to? I bring this up because you can't really talk about the San Luis Valley or Southern Colorado in general without bringing up Alamosa. I bring up allergies because my wife is allergic to cottonwoods. And then she moved to the town of Cottonwood because Alamosa means cottonwood. So while we're here, let's stop and talk about Alamosa, Colorado. So let's go around today and talk about Alamosa. Because I mean, if you're going to be in the San Luis Valley, you're going to go to Alamosa. See, the early days of the San Luis Valley were primarily about mining. When gold and other minerals were discovered in the San Juan Mountains over in Creed and Del Norte region, that would cause an influx of people to come here. And see, that necessitated a need in a way to transport people here and transport ore out. So the railroad came to town. And the railroads would connect from Durango, Salida, Santa Fe, Denver. And at the center of all those intersections would be the town of Alamosa. Now, Alamosa would be founded in 1878 by a group of settlers that would disembark the railroad near a little cottonwood grove along the Rio Grande River. That small settlement would grow to the town of Alamosa, kind of the heart and hub of the railroad in the San Luis Valley. The railroad still holds important history to Alamosa. In fact, our welcome center is the old train depot. Alamosa is even home to Engine 169, an old narrow gauge railroad car that was operated by the Denver and Rio Grande Railroad, and at one point in time was even displayed at the New York's World's Fair. Alamosa also happens to be the home of the Adams State University. There's probably not a better college for you to go to if you're interested in track and field or wrestling. Because I'll tell you something about this valley. We put out track and wrestling stars like it's no one else's business. You see, with Alamosa being about 7,500 feet above sea level, there isn't a place you can condition yourself better to train for stuff like long distance running and extreme extraneous activities like wrestling. Pretty much everywhere you're going to compete in track and field is going to be at a lower elevation. And should you have to go to a place that's higher elevation, you're already acclimated to it because we're higher in elevation than the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. That being said, it can take you a minute to acclimate to the elevation here. So if you're coming here to go to college or whatnot, give yourself a little time to get acclimated to being about 1.5 miles above sea level. It's going to kick your butt a bit. Art, history, and culture are kind of at the forefront of Alamosa, Colorado. In fact, USA Today voted Alamosa, Colorado as the #1 small town cultural scene in the country. One of the more unique festivals we have in this town celebrates just how bloody cold it gets here. The Rio Frio Ice Festival, complete with ice sculptures, a 5K across a frozen river, and a rather unique bonfire. I'll tell you right now, I'm not even running a 0.5K, no less across a frozen river. My ass is so cold right now. You ever seen a bonfire encased in ice?
3, 2, 1.
I can think of no better analogy than how the air feels on your face during winter here than burning ice. Now, there's several good places to eat here in this valley, but if you're like me and occasionally you get the hankering from some Rocky Mountain oysters, well, Ruby Slipper right there has some of the best I've ever had. Be warned though, their breading they use on them has a little bit of a kick, so they tend to be a little spicy. Alamosa is the jewel of the San Luis Valley. and gateway to the Great Sand Dunes. So why not stop on by if you're in Southern Colorado and check out what Alamosa has to offer? It's got great places to eat, a lot of outdoor life activities that you may want to partake in, and it's got the best small town cultural scene in the country.